So as you head on the road for a couple games, how do you maintain the success that you guys have had at home recently?
Our details, our defense. Like we always say, defense travels, defense and rebounding travels. So we gotta pay attention to the defensive end, each possession. But the details have to be it all starts on the defensive end with us. So on the road, on road games, your defense has to travel, has to get on that bus and plane with you if you want to have a chance to win.
Speaking defensively, looking ahead to the matchup against Utah Valley, um, they scored 85 points. Granted, it was in overtime, but what are some things specifically that you want to see from your team defensively?
We got to rebound better. I believe they had 15, 17 offensive rebounds, and that hurt us. That really hurt us playing against them. They have great size throughout all five guys that's on the court. They bring in more size off the bench. So we have to do a great job of rebounding. They really hurt us on the boards last game.
I want to ask you about Brody Robinson. As a spectator, we kind of see like the game is getting close down the stretch. He activates, he turns on a certain type of gear when other players might seem to wane. How does he talk about his clutch gene and how he's able to get better as the game goes on?
He's a competitor. He's a big time competitor. He plays to win. Late in games and huddles, he's always tapping my knee, looking at me like he wants the ball, and he lives for that moment. Some guys just have that, and some don't. And he definitely has that aspect to his game, and like I say, he puts the work in, and he's starting to get really comfortable in those situations. But he's a big time competitor, and we need other guys to be like that also.
And I also wanted to ask you about Brandon. Last game, he came off the bench, first player off the bench, and gave you guys a spark in that first half where it was kind of hard to come by points. Just talk about how his veteran leadership presence on the team.
He is a big time spark for us coming off the bench. He can score in bunches, especially when he's on. He can really hurt teams. He has good size on the defensive end. I would love to see him drive the ball more and get fouled more because he's such a great free throw shooter. But yeah, he's a big time spark coming off the bench for us.
Yeah, free throw shooting is something I also wanted to ask you about, especially late in games. Do you feel like these close games would be different if you guys were to knock down some of those free throws?
Yeah, absolutely. At any point in the game, you need to make your free throws, and especially late in the game. But any point in the game, you got to be making them, and that always helps. But in the games with us is more focus and paying attention to details and doing things how we do them.
Looking at the last several games and even back to the first time against Utah Valley, it's been a lot of close one possession games lately, coming out on the right side of it. What has been the biggest part of that? Is it that paying attention to details? Is it that execution down the stretch? What kind of things have you seen that have led you to make sure you're coming out on the right end?
We're starting to get comfortable with it. That's the biggest thing. It's just the experience of going through those games. Cause we everyone win or lose, we come back and we watch the last 4 minutes as a team, not clipped up. We watch it live and we learn from it. And we go on the court and we work on it more. So the biggest thing is in-game experience has helped us, and we're starting to get comfortable with late game situations because we've seen a lot of them. We're probably gonna see some more. So we got to get good at it, and we got to be good at executing late down the stretch and defending late down the stretch.
And looking at Utah Valley, obviously a team that you know very well from the previous meeting. What would you say some of the keys are for you guys to come out on top?
Rebounding for one, transition defense. They really ran it down our throats, and just defending their personnel. They have really good players. They run good sets, and we got to be on point. Our talk has to be good, and we have to guard them. But we really got to stop them in transition defense and rebound the basketball.
Last one for me. Lance has obviously been a double-double machine lately, 4 out of his last 5 games. I know that's a statistical thing, but it does show him growing on the boards and being a big part of things, focal point-wise, offensively, defensively. What does he bring to a game like this, where they've got a big that's somebody you got to really pay attention to with Carter Welling?
He brings a lot, man. He brings so many aspects, but his experience, his IQ is like a point guard. Um, he can guard different positions on defense, which is great, especially when you have a big guy that he can guard. We can switch him on the guards. You don't see too many guards that can go by him and that he can contest. He might be our best guard defender behind Ray, but he's good, man. And then offensively, we can, we're stagnant offensively. We're not hitting shots. We can throw the ball down to him. He can drive bigger guys and make plays. He's starting to make plays, not turn the ball over as much. But he's just a great veteran player to have. Very talented, size, athleticism. But I think one of his biggest attributes is his IQ. He's a really really smart basketball player. He knows the game inside and out, and he's been in a lot of big games throughout his career that most players in this league haven't been in. And I just don't think anything surprises him. I mean, even going to Grand Canyon, he's not going to be fazed by that crowd. He's been in way bigger games and arenas than that. So he's just, his experience is great for us.